Got another $1,000 for you in about 6 minutes. It's going to be your last keyword today. Last chance for you to go fuel yourself. $1,000 every time you hear one. They will start back up again tomorrow around 9:30 with Rover. Next week, Rover will have Lamb of God tickets for you. For people who have been hitting me up asking if I will have them. I will not. But you'll get them from him. They're playing Youngstown in September. I will get you set up for a bunch of shows closer to home next week. In This Moment's doing the Agora. Apocalyptica at the House of Blues. Tesla is out at MGM Northfield Park. You know we do Big Hair Wednesdays with Stansbury here on the Buzzard. If you're not around for those. Noon to 1 on Wednesdays. Stansbury's playing hair band songs. It's like if you could distill Corey Roddick into a soundtrack, it would be Big Hair Wednesdays. So I'll have Tesla tickets for you next week. And then if you want to go see Five Finger Death Punch and Megadeth at Blossom, I will have those tickets for you too, all next week. So, boy, I'll tell you what, for anybody who was saying to themselves, I wonder what Alan's giving away next week.
Which many people have been saying that.
I know they do. People have been saying.
That's what people, like after the show last night in Lorraine, you know, a bunch of listeners were there. And after the show, they're like, hey, love what you do. Your stand-up's great, blah, blah, blah. But what I really want to know is, what is Alan giving away next week?
That's right.
You'll have to listen to find out.
Yeah.
I don't have that information.
That's right. Bill Smart. He goes, I can't tell you that now. Out here in mixed company.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good move.
Mm-hmm. I know how to play this radio game now.
Parents were mortified when they found out that their young son had taken a dump in a display toilet.
Oh,
this happens from time to time, and it's never a bad time. Yep. What is that?
It's I think it's from the first Jackass movie. Dave England takes a poop in a display toilet.
In like a Home Depot or something. Yeah. 4-year-old boy. And again, the only reason we know about it is because the parents post it, which always leads me to believe, okay, 50%. What's that?
Do you think they were in on it?
Yeah, if 50% fake. Yeah, flip a coin. They put this on Facebook that their kid went up to a toilet and took a dump. Now, anyone who has ever had a 4-year-old knows that they will tell you as soon as they have to take a dump. Mm-hmm. Right? They're not shy about it at all. Small children will invite you into the bathroom when they're taking a dump. Adults don't do that.
It's got, when I was potty training, I was helping potty train my niece, and she thought everybody was supposed to be there when she was doing stuff like that. So she's like, everybody, I gotta go potty. Let's go.
Yeah.
Poop that poop.
You want an audience. Mm-hmm. When you're an adult, you want people out of the room. Kids will be like, yeah, come on in. I'm doing something natural that everyone does. This was at an appliance store, and allegedly the kid went right up to the toilet, dropped trow, and took what his parents called a very big poop.
I mean, you do also know from the little kids can take giant dumps.
Massive dumps.
Massive dumps.
Like my daughter is 6 now, and she's started to now take appropriately regular dumps.
But when she was build up,
when she was 2, I was like, I don't know how that's fitting inside of you. I genuinely don't know how that's fitting inside of you.
I remember Bobby Kelly and Gwen was in one day when Bobby Kelly was on the show, and they were just dying laughing about talking about the giant dumps that their kids
toddler dumps.
Yeah.
They really are. You know, earlier in the show, we were talking about Poundcake going to the Grand Canyon, the Hoover Dam. You know, the real marvels of nature are toddler poops. Because a kid will get off the toilet, and you'll look in there, and it's like snaking the bowl. You're like, how did that fit into your body? Did you have a hard time breathing? Because clearly that was compressing your lungs.
Right, it's like a depth charge.
Before you got it out of your body. It's just like a long, long soup can that just came out of you. So this, not tapered at the end,
right?
Just thunk. Yeah. Like when you get
and you're not even wrong. You're not
right. When you get the jellied cranberries at Thanksgiving? That's what it is.
It just comes out in the shape of a can, yeah.
That's what it is. So these parents put it all over Facebook because, of course, it was hilarious, which, again, makes me wonder the validity of it. But frankly, who cares?
Right. As long as they're the ones that cleaned it up. I don't want anybody from the store to have to clean it up.
Sure.
If my kid did that, I'd be like, I'll take care of this. I'm not going to make anybody else do it.
By the way, speaking of poop, Amber Heard. Yeah. Listen, she is apparently entertaining an offer or two to write a book, but really jumped out at me because they've said, and I kind of predicted this, and they're saying it's probably what's going to happen, is that Johnny Depp has no interest in taking her money. He wanted the headline. He wanted to make a point that he would be found guilty, but he has no interest in taking that money from her.
Found innocent.
Found innocent. But what jumped out at me...
He wanted the ruling more than anything.
That's right. What jumped out at me was one of the jurors who said that the reason Amber Heard lost to Johnny Depp is because she made us feel uncomfortable. And I don't know what the hell that has to do with anything. I know being uncomfortable now is the worst thing that can happen to anybody. I don't know when that started, but being uncomfortable, for whatever reason, for a lot of people now, is the worst thing that can happen.
I think it started with the rise of the word anxiety.
He said the crying, the facial expressions, all of us were very uncomfortable. And her stories didn't add up. Now, if you see those still frames of Amber Heard, yeah, she has an ugly cry face. But what the hell does uncomfortable have to do with anything? You know what? Maybe we shouldn't just randomly pull people for jury duty. Maybe we shouldn't make everyone do jury duty. Maybe we should have a way it would make us happier, and it would certainly, I would think, make the judicial process happier to maybe winnow out some people from the potential jury pool. I mean, you run the risk of, getting certain kinds of people. It is supposed to be a jury of your peers, but there were no Johnny Depp or Amber Heard peers on that jury. But this guy to go, she made us feel uncomfortable. So what? What does that have to do with anything? Imagine being on a jury and they would talk to you later on. You go, what did you think of the evidence presented? I mean, yeah, that was part of it, but I was uncomfortable. Holy crap. Now, again, I am very publicly Team Amber Heard. So maybe I'm biased. That's not inconceivable.
So you're Team Amber Heard based on what?
I'm Team Amber Heard in that I think that neither one of these people, there are no winners in this thing. But everybody thinks that Amber Heard was lying, and I don't think she was lying.
Well, she said she was lying.
About what?
Well, didn't she say, wasn't that one of the main points where she said, I can say whatever I want and they're going to believe me?
Well, that was the audio. But again, that goes back to there's no perfect victims. People take one thing they don't like and they go, that means all the other stuff was fake too.
Correct.
And that's not the case. They were both on tape and video saying awful things to each other.
Yeah,
I agree.
And that's what I'm talking about.
But why? But here's what I'm curious about. Why choose a team?
Well, she seemed to need better legal representation, and so I'm, because that's what we do now. We got to pick a team.
You got to pick a team? I didn't pick a team.
I'm not on team I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't.
Who cares?
I don't like, and that's what I'm saying. I don't like that.
Most of life is feeling uncomfortable.
No matter what, there is a group of people that's like, well, I believe Johnny because he made me feel better in my times of need. That has nothing to do with if he's credible or not. You separate the man from the artist.
Listen, I'm not asking that human beings be completely devoid of inherent. Everybody's got biases of things they do and don't like. I fully understand that. That's part of being a human being. But for the guy to go, she made us feel really uncomfortable with her weird crying face. That's why we thought she was lying. That's why we thought Johnny Depp should be found innocent or were not guilty or whatever. It's because she made weird crying faces, which she did. Nobody's denying that. But they chalked it up to crocodile tears. A lot of people have weird crying faces. It's just that Johnny Depp wasn't crying. She was the only one crying. Because what do they say about Johnny Depp now? They go, we really hope he bangs that lawyer. That's where people's heads are with Johnny Depp.
That's such a weird thing, too. I think that's so weird that people are like, oh, they're in love. And I'm like, I don't think that's... I think you guys are...
He paid her a lot of money to...
Yeah.
Let me give you some money here. It's $1,000. As promised, it's your last keyword for today to go fuel yourself. So good luck. I hope you win.
The Buzzard wants you to go fuel yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword green at WMMS.com. That's green. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
You know, I got to tell you something. We do live in a world. Well, this is food news, just for people who like to keep a log at home of what we do here on the show. In a world with so many serious problems facing all of us as inhabitants of the planet, person to person, so many serious problems. It's fascinating how much time people spend creating solutions for problems that don't exist. You know, in politics, it's things like voter fraud, not a thing. Transgender bathroom bills, right? Not a problem. These aren't problems that exist.
The sports thing that they're doing with
right. And then they pass laws to protect us from the thing that they just made up. In everyday life, a problem that doesn't exist is slippery utensils. I don't believe that this is a problem that exists. But KFC has come along to solve that problem. I mean, it's a pretty smart way to do things. It's just a very realistic way to do things. It's not a very intellectually honest way to do things. You can create a problem and then come along with a solution to solve the problem you created. And what KFC has created are things called finger sporks. Mm-hmm. Have you seen their finger sporks?
I'm not.
They go over the tips of your fingers.
That sounds correct. Sounds like what I was expecting. So instead of like scissor hands, this is finger sporks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, their thing is always finger looking good, right? So, but you can't lick your fingers because they're covered by
sporks,
tiny plastic sporks. It seems like it would make it more difficult. You might have seen the ad. They're running it online.
Are you tired of eating sides with a slippery spoon? Do you wish all your KFC favorites could be finger licking? Well, now they can be. Introducing KFC Finger Sporks, our revolutionary new eating device that makes everything finger licking good.
Right, you get the gist. Finger sporks. And they are little plastic, things that go over your fingertips that you can use to scoop your food. They're tiny, too. If you know anything about the American fast food consumer, these should be finger shovels. People are not looking to put small amounts of food in their mouth. These should be big trowels that you can fit on your finger.
But if you use multiple finger sporks, then you can really get a lot of food into your mouth. So I think you get smaller bites, and it might actually be healthier for you because you're going to eat smaller bites, so then you're going to eat a little bit slower, but you get to, still use all your fingers.
I want to see somebody with one on each finger, and then they put their fingers together. You don't spread your fingers out, and you just scoop all that food. It would be a little cumbersome to get it level to where you could eat it properly, but boy, good for them. Finger sporks. Because I'll tell you what, it can't be easy, and you really do have to give it up. Whether or not you go to KFC, whether you've thought about KFC in a decade, who cares? It can't be easy to be in marketing or R&D for these fast food companies because they always have to come up with something new. And there's only so much you're going to do with chicken. It's like the pizza joints. There's only so much you can stuff into a crust.
Right.
So once you cross that Rubicon, then they're like, oh, now we're going to make them out of chocolate or whatever. You have to constantly be coming up with something.
Can you?
And it can't be easy. Those jobs, you're earning your money.
I got one. So you stuff crust inside of the crust. So it's crust stuffed crust.
That's why when we saw, we've talked about how they have 1 billion Oreo flavors now. One time we're at the grocery store and one of them is cookies and cream Oreos. And Gwen goes, they've just crushed up Oreo. They're stuffing it with crushed up Oreos.
It's Oreos inside Oreos.
Yes.
Well, I'm not going to lie.
It's a human centipede of Oreo cookies.
You've stuffed up destroyed the remains of other Oreos.
Yes.
And put them inside.
They basically swept the detritus off the floor and they've mixed in some cream and they're stuffing the Oreos with other Oreos.
Stephen Johnson, who is a very funny creator on TikTok and Instagram, and he's been on my podcast, does the voiceover stuff for Bally Sports. He was doing this video in a grocery store and he's just showing all the different Oreos. And he's like, and you know what they don't have here? Regular Oreos.
Right.
You can't get regular Oreos.
Right.
You can get all these different, you can get mint, you get birthday cake.
Triple stuffed. Yeah.
But you can't just get a regular Oreo. And that's hilarious.
I probably had the most delicious Kit Kat bar ever downstairs. It was blueberry muffin Kit Kat.
Oh, really? In the cafe?
Oh, my God.
That sounds like something you'd have to order from Japan.
That's what I'm saying. It was downstairs. I said, I have to buy one of these. When I went down there, I'm like, okay, this is going to spoil my lunch, but I'm going to grab one. And it was so delicious. I think it's going to be like an everyday little treat.
For a while, my wife was ordering these snack boxes that you can subscribe to. This company does snack boxes, but they're from different countries. I forget what it's called, but it's really cool. You don't pick the country. They just send you a box of snacks from another country. So you'll get like Israel and Sweden. And one of them was from Japan, and it was almost all weird Kit Kats. Because I like Kit Kats, and I like the weird flavors. And yeah, they do taste like super artificial and not quite American, but different countries are doing different flavors for people because they have there's different cultural stuff. And blueberry muffin sounds like something you'd have to send away for.
Oh my God, it was great.
Now I got to go down there tomorrow. Make myself a mental note.
It's the best.
So congratulations to the KFC people. I'm pretty sure KFC came up with the spork.
Yeah, I think
in the 70s. They probably own the trademark on that. So finger sporks, right in their wheelhouse. So congratulations to them. There's your food news. I want to take a break here. If you want to text for anything, 35192 to do that. You can listen anywhere and leave us messages on the iHeartRadio app.